Hello, I'm Diane Peterson, and I'm going to interview Annie Young, the Green Party endorsed candidate for State Auditor.
Hi, Diane. I'm Annie Young. I am the candidate for State Auditor, and I am hoping that you'll vote, and people will vote in this upcoming election, November 2nd.
Well, can you tell people why you are running for State Auditor?
Well, I have working experience with audits in government agencies because I've served on the Minneapolis Park Board for 21 years, and we receive an audit almost every year. And I believe that I will provide a fresh perspective, an independent voice about auditing, and I have proven leadership. Actually, I'm seeking the office of auditor also to advance the Green Party's platform of environmental stewardship, social justice, grassroots democracy, and local control. If I receive for the 5% of the statewide vote, it will restore the Green Party's place on the ballot and give ballot access, along with giving Minnesotans a real alternative.
Who are you?
Well, like I said, I've been a leader both on the Minneapolis Park Board and in the environmental community. And I'm a steward with a vision. I work a lot on sustainability issues and have come to a complete understanding of where our tax dollars go and how to ensure that our spending moves us towards improvements in the 3 E's of sustainability. Those E's are the environment, economics, and equity. Equity meaning the social capital, basically what's going on in our towns and our whole public community involvement.
Okay, and what makes you qualified to be State Auditor?
Well, I think that I bring to the race for State Auditor a broad knowledge of Minnesota, both inner city and rural Minnesota. I used to live outside Winona, but in the 70s I helped start a lot of food co-ops, and I've been all over the state. And so my experience also has given me an appreciation for the external costs that oftentimes aren't looked at by government. We have to look at this as a check and balance system, and our balance sheet needs to look at environmental damages. It needs to look at the impact of welfare on human beings in calculating the true social cost benefit and how all this impacts our policies and our programs. So I'll take my leadership, I'll take my perspective, and take my political independence. I'm not involved in either of the major 2 political parties. And so then I'll take that and look at this whole idea of life cycle cost accounting and its impact both on the state and the local level. So I think I'm just not, excuse me, I think I am the best choice for voters. Not because of my personal lifestyle or because of all the green work that I've done with the Green Institute or other green issues, community gardens, etc. But I do have support over many years in these efforts and all around the state. I also served on Governor Arne Carlson's Roundtable for Sustainable Development. Years back, I served on Governor Perpig's Welfare Reform Commission. So I have looked at a variety of issues around the state of Minnesota. And as Greens, we do not take corporate money. We do not take PAC monies. So I'm also free of the corporate campaign contributions and major party machinery that's devoted to retaining power. So I think these are the kinds of qualities that would make me a good candidate.
A little more. What do you bring to this race?
Well, I am running for the state auditor because of this understanding about the cycles and the life cycle cost accounting. Oftentimes people refer to cradle to death. I refer to life as cradle to cradle because many of us have children, grandchildren, even great-grandchildren. And it's important that we take these values, these sustainability values, and look at how things will be going in the future. It's important to have that as an oversight, as an arching for government work. And so I take that and look at sustainability benchmarks and how can we put these benchmarks into the audits of government agencies. And so I think I can do that because I've helped to bring sustainability to the Minneapolis park system and how we are doing it within our budgets. So my fresh perspective on auditing and my leadership, I think, will make me, give me the experience that's needed.
What are your 3 top priorities if elected as our state auditor?
Well, I have 3, and they're pretty simple. One is my commitment to local government aid, then sustainability, which I've talked about a lot already, and education, and I mean education in another sense. But let me go over those 3 just quickly. All right. The local government aid, I am talking about addressing the relationship between state aid levels and the city spending and efficiency. No matter where you live in this state, when you pick up that phone, if your house is on fire, you want the fire department to be there. If you need the police, if you want the streets to be publicly safe, you want your parks safe, you want your libraries open, you need to look at these. Even getting our potholes fixed may be somehow addressed in some accounting number, roads and highways. And so we look at these hidden costs, we look at our natural and social environment, and make sure that we're getting these efficiencies covered. What it's about is that the taxpayers, you and me and the people watching, really want to make sure and have a right to know how their tax dollars are being spent. And so that is really important. You know, local and living wages in this state, we've looked a lot now at the new kinds of farming and agricultural farming, from community sustainable farms to even in the inner cities now, community gardens and people raising their own food. And so we have to really, local Minnesota is increasingly popular, and how are we addressing that in our systems? Education is both about the staff, the auditor staff being educated, and local government staff being educated.
What does a state auditor do?
Well, the state auditor is responsible for $20 billion being spent locally every year by 4,200 local government units in this state. So it's school boards, it's city, counties, and townships. It's a whole variety of agencies. It's the fire and police pensions, soil and water conservation districts. There's special districts. There's housing, urban redevelopment, all of those. And the audits do reviewing, look at data, look at the complaints. We know that the public's always concerned, are their tax dollars being frittered away in some kind of way? So there's auditing, reviewing, investigating, and as we said, educating, keeping the staff up to snuff, so to speak.
Should the auditor be involved in setting policy or just audit local government books? And what role should the auditor play in determining the future of state payments to local governments?
Well, I don't believe that the auditor is a bully pulpit, but I do believe that the auditor can help the governor and legislators who are elected in identifying areas that should receive more scrutiny when looking at economic indicators and life cycle accounting. The auditors should be an advocate for local controls in meeting needs and the local needs and distribution, making sure that things are fair, equal, productive, and innovative.
Why should a person vote for you on November 2nd?
I'm an independent and I'm not beholden to corporatization of government as witnessed through the current two-party system. I'm not entrenched in our two parties.
So are you fed up with both parties? Then vote for Annie Young for state auditor and give the Green Party a place on the ballot again. Support Annie and support the Green Party for a greener future. You can get more information by visiting www.annieforauditor.com. www.annieforauditor.com. She's also on Facebook and Twitter.
Thank you, Diane. And I just want people to remember to cast their vote on November 2nd and to vote for Annie Young for auditor and to help us keep our eye on the prize of spending your tax dollars wisely. Thank you very much.
You've got my vote, Annie.